just can't believe you said without me. Welcome to our play, Kingfisher Days. It was written by Coyne and produced by the Tarragon Theatre. It was designed and directed by Miss Carpenchuck, co-directed by Eric Neal and Shelby Desai. It was music directed by Mr. Baker. The stage manager is Zarmina Khan. She's right here. She won't be appearing in the show, but she's very much in our thoughts. Zarmina's job, you see, is to make sure you will get out on time. My job is, well, I play the narrator. The unreliable narrator. Time is but a stream I go fishing in, said the great American philosopher Henry David Thoreau, sitting beside the Walden Pond in the house he built, contemplating the natural world, nothing but time. You know, I read somewhere that Thoreau's mother brought him his lunch every day. Time is, you know, I just have to say this. I have never been late for an entrance in 20 years. It's just, I have a lot of things going on right now. I couldn't find my watch, lost my script, and I did tell stage management. I said I have to make a quick call to the babysitter. Could you maybe hold on for 5 minutes? Well, I told you about Zarmina. All right. It's true. I do have time management problems. I am occasionally late for rehearsals, and I'm generally in a rush. Trying to do too many things at once. I'm sure I'm not the only one in this. I'm sure some of you are the same. You found yourself in a rush to get here, trying to do 20 different things at once. You got here, you sat down, took off your coat, you looked at the program and you thought, good. Short intermission means I'll be home to catch the news. I knew it too. The world is speeding up and I just can't. You know, recently, I read scientists have found a way to divide a second into 23 billion parts. Why? Why should we live with such hurry and waste of life? Said Thoreau. It's affecting my sleep. I lie there at night watching the minutes tick by, worrying about time running out. Last night, for example, I was worrying about cloud forests. Do you guys know about the cloud forest? Well, just briefly, in some parts of the world, in Peru, for example, there are these ancient evergreen trees that are way up in the mountains that are almost permanently shrouded in mist. The cloud forests are huge encyclopedias full of strange and original life forms. Birds like the rufous, and the orange-bellied euphonia, the crown-toothed tyrant, and of course the marvelous spatchtail. Over 300 species of hummingbirds. But they're all under threat now from our air pollutants, communication towers, and well, us. And in 10 years, they'll all be gone. Vanished. And I get to see the concert or the t-shirt for the cloud. You know, we all know about the rainforest, but the cloud forests are... Oh, we're getting off topic. And the clock is ticking, so let's return to... Well, not return to because we haven't really started yet. My fault entirely. All right. The script is not quite locked in, as they say. It's just, I didn't have time to. But it's based on a true story, and I have notes. So I am confident we can wing it. Let's get this started, Zarmina. Birds of Ontario? Oh, we cut this. At least I'm dressed. Usually when I have these dreams, I'm not. Birds of on. Here we go. I should have looked at these before. Probably. The wife threw it. Oh, and that's my father, the scholar. Habitat, a comfortable chair on the porch. Call, a series of reassuring voices.
What's that? Yes, dear. What's that? Yes, dear.
Who else? My mother, the pragmatist. Habitat, the real world. Widowed with 3 children before she met my father, she learned a hard-built philosophy expressed in a series of useful proverbs.
Handsome is as handsome does. Handsome is as handsome does. Birds in the nest agree. Why can't we?
My mother drank hard to toughen me up. She was afraid I'd get eaten alive when I left the nest.
Laugh, and the world laughs with you. Cry, and you cry a little.
The white-throated sparrow. The call of the whitefoot is a clear whistle of 1 or 2 notes, followed by 3 quaver notes of different pitch. Even at noon, when all the birds are still, you can still hear the whitefoot far, far off. Oh, Canada, Canada, Canada. Whenever I hear that sound, I think of my childhood summers at Lake of the Woods. Did I mention that this is a memory play? Well, it takes place in the summer 1963, 9 months after the Cuban Missile Crisis. In that year, Mr. Kennedy gave a speech in Berlin, Mr. Pearson brought down the new liberal budget, and Miss Mary Ewing was crowned Miss Canada, wedding card, and a dishwasher. That's to give you some socio-political background to our story. And in June 1963, I turned 5. Every year and every summer, we'd take a train from Union Station, Toronto, all the way to Lake of the Woods. The trip took 3 days. We played in the observation car beneath a huge glass dome as the train plunged deeper and deeper into the boreal forest. And sometimes we'd stand at the back of the train and watch train tracks spill away from us in the distance. Now, and when we arrived at the little station in Kenora, climbed out onto the platform, there would be my father, who had driven ahead with the boys and our poodle Celeste. And then we would take a boat ride to the island. And obviously, we had to help with my father with the dog, the cat, the bags. And then we were allowed to run screaming up the hill to the cottage. In the house, the long silence of the winter months hung in the air. Everything was just like I remembered it.
All right, Sandy, open the doors now. Slowly.
At the doors of the living room, I thought it would be a good room in case a bird or a bat flew down. And all the windows would be open wide, the sheets would be hung up to air, and the cupboards in the kitchen would be flung open in search of mice.
No mice in the kitchen this year? No mice upstairs? Thank God.
Oh, looks like Nancy's found the snake in the toilet.
Boys, there's work to be done.
And then I visited all my favorite places, like Waterloo Bay, Beaver Dam, the tree where I was tethered as a child. And after our first swim of the summer, my father would settle in his chair on the porch, and my mother would set up her easel for paint.
Susie, out you go. Gather your rosebuds while you make, and don't go near the water.
And then I'd go pay a visit to our neighbors, the Moyers.
Hello there. Have you seen how the water is this year? We could put a ladder on the other side to get in and out of the boat.
Mr. Moyer was in his 70s at the time. He was a retired school teacher from the prairies, a chess player, and an avid gardener.
It's supposed to be a good year for berries, they say.
I spent every part of the day with him, learning about birds and plants, and a lot of other sorts of things.
It's gonna be a beautiful day by the looks of it. Did you see that our blue heron is back in the bay? I think it's the same one. He gave me quite a friendly look. Now look at this. We decided to put the mulch pile over here this year. I think it gets more sun.
Lake of the Woods is located at the northern reaches of the Canadian Shield, a vast bedrock of igneous and metamorphic rocks, covered with a thin
This year we've got raspberries and rhubarb, squash.
Lettuce, tomatoes, corn, potatoes,
We'll see about the potatoes.
peonies,
Festiva Maxima and the scene.
lupins,
More or less a week.
delphiniums, columbines, daylilies, sweet peas, snapdragons. What else have I forgot?
Lantern flowers, plaids, foxgloves, and pansies.
Pansies! Yes, of course.
Well, I'm gonna go have some breakfast. Have you had yours?
Yes,
Oh well.
but I can have some with you.
That's fine, but Mrs. Moyer's still resting, so we'll have to speak quietly.
Mrs. Moyer was a soft-spoken, gentle lady who wore old-fashioned clothes most of the time. She looked like she came from another century. But Mrs. Moyer suffered from chronic ill health. It means she was sick a lot.
Toast?
I'll have cereal.
Cornflakes?
Never mind, I'll have toast.
No jam though.
Oh?
Jam only every other day.
Why?
Just what Alice said. You know Alice, don't you? You don't? Well, I'll introduce you. See, the way we had her rule. Jam tomorrow, and jam yesterday, but never jam today.
That doesn't make sense.
Yes, just what Alice said. So, what are your plans for the summer? What about the boys?
They're taking sailing.
And Nancy?
She's taking sailing too.
I see. What about Andrew?
Well, he's only 3.
Does he have a new doll?
Yes.
Does she have a name?
It's Lady Mary, see? She wants it up. Her legs got skinny after Andrew put her in the toilet, and her hair didn't used to be this short, you know.
No.
No, Nancy gave her a haircut, and then our dog chewed her foot. Mr. Moyer, know what I can do? Can you see me?
Susan! Susan!
That's magic.
Susan!
Uh-oh.
Susan!
Does your mother know you're here? Well, how about you don't let your mom know you're here, and then we can work in the garden.
Between the 2 cottages, sloping down to the lake, there was a thick hedgerow, and the summer I was 5, I discovered an old relic there, the ruins of an old stone fireplace, half hidden beneath the leaves. It was covered in mossy patches of black velvet, scaly grain, and brilliant dots of mustard yellow.
Drinks lacking body, 7 letters.
So I asked my father about it.
What's that? Yes, dear?
What is it?
Oh, the fireplace. Uncle Joe's house. It's from a cottage that burned down a long time before you were born.
Who's Uncle Joe?
Uncle Joe Spondylak.
Who is he?
Let's see, what did they say? He was an elf, and he ran a boarding house for bachelor elves.
Is that true?
Might be. Long time ago, of course. Spirits.
And so I started leaving gifts for Uncle Joe and the elves. Daisy chains and strawberries, and overnight, these things would disappear. And so I found a whisk broom, and I swept up all the hearth, and I filled up some hazelnut shells with water, and I drew a picture of myself and wedged it in between the rocks. And these things too would disappear.
One day, I found something waiting for me. It was a neatly folded piece of pink paper, stuck down with edges with wax, and stamped with the letter N. And on the outside, written in ink, there were some words.
Mr. Moyer!
What's that? Where'd you find this?
In the fireplace!
This seal is not to be opened by any other but Helen Susan Cameron Coyne.
That's me!
To Helen Susan Cameron Coyne. Greetings. I have been instructed to tell you, on behalf of our fairy queen, Queen Mab, to thank you for making a home for all of our people. I, Princess Teton, Little Hummingbird, granddaughter of New Teton, Hummingbird, who ruled all Peru, and banished from my home because people said I was too proud. For 1,000 years, I may not return to my high hills, but we saw boys and girls who are kind to the great people and the little people, about the fairies, the sylphs, the kelpies, and the brownies, with the elves, the dryads, and the hamadryads, about Oberon, Titania, Ariel, and Puck. I am very beautiful and a great princess, but it irks me, Susan. It irks me extremely when people forget about how great and beautiful I am. So, when you talk about me, call me princess. The above has been dictated, but not read, by her serene and illiterate highness who still is attached in the Teton. Why don't you go and show your family?
Sandy! Patrick! I have a letter here from a fairy princess! Don't you want to see? Nancy! I have a letter here from a fairy princess! Andrew?
Trim the Christmas tree, 6 letters. Spruce. What's that? A letter. How interesting. A fairy. Fairy, from the Greek root feris, meaning creatures of the wild. Very nice, dear.
Mom, I found a letter from the fairy.
A letter from a fairy? How lovely. Well, you can show it to me whenever I can get back on tennis. Be sure to write a thank you letter.
Let's see what we have in the Encyclopedia Britannica. Here we are, hummingbird. Next to their small size, not much bigger than a large moth, the best known characteristic of the hummingbird is the wonderful brilliancy of its plumage. See here its red neck and green feathers? The hummingbird is the only kind of bird that can fly backwards. I did not know that, did you? The Incas believed to be spirits of dead warriors. Well, this is Oberon, king of the fairies. Let's hear what he has to say. I know a bank where the wild thyme blows, where oxlips and the nodding violet grows, over canopied with luscious woodbine, with sweet musk roses and eglantine. There sleeps Titania, sometimes in the night, lulled in these flowers with dances and delight. There the snake throws her enameled skin, weed wide enough to trap a fairy in. Remember when we went to Waterloo Bay and we saw those mossy rocks and wildflowers, and you thought there might be fairies there? Well, Oberon says that's the kind of place a fairy queen might like to sleep, under a canopy of flowers and wrapped in a snake skin, like what we found last year. And there the snake throws her enameled skin, weed wide enough to trap a fairy in.
I'll be back tomorrow, Mr. Moyer, and I'll tell you if I get any more letters.
I couldn't sleep at all that night. I kept on thinking about the letter, the inhabitants, the stone fireplace, and the picture of Oberon, and especially that princess who wrote me that letter.
Goodness, Susan. Dressed already. Have you had your breakfast? I'm seeing if there's another letter. All right, then come right back and have your breakfast. Then can I go see Mr. Moyer? Yes, but you're not to stay there all morning. Poor Mr. Moyer needs his rest. Now listen, you boys. 5 words butter, no parsnips. Finish your chores. Mr. Moyer!
What's that, another one?
Mm-hmm.
Same description too. To Helen Susan Cameron Coyne, from Her Highness, Princess in the Teton. Greetings. I have been instructed to to tell you about our fairy queen, Queen Mab. But I think that princesses are more interesting than queens, so I shall tell you about Queen Mab another time.
Today, I want to tell you about the meeting of the cats on Blueberry Mountain on Saturday night when the moon was full. The meeting was called to decide whether all cats in Canada should learn French. If all the people in Canada talk French, how will cats know when they are called to dinner? An important meeting. Most of my family could turn themselves into any animal, but it irks me. Susan, it irks me almost to tears that whatever animal I tried to be, I turned out to be a cat. Saturday, I turned into a Maltese kitten. I was beautiful.
Mr. Moyer, our cat goes out every night.
Does he? Well, now you know where he goes.
I got to Blueberry Mountain easily. I could see like a cat on the dark path, but I wore a coronet of 100 fireflies that flashed one after another around my head. I was beautiful. There were white cats, black cats, brown cats, Siamese cats, and white, blue, and black Persian cats at the meeting. There was one Manx cat without a tail from over Kiwak Way. At midnight, the cat who was in charge called us all around her. She wore glasses and was dressed in an imitation Persian coat. You could not say she was from the top drawer. I wondered if she had been born in a house at all.
Ahem. Attention cats, the meeting has been called to decide whether all cats should learn French. It might be that there depends on it. Can I have a show of paws, please?
Just as they were going to vote to speak French, the Manx cat said that catnip was the best sounding word in the world, and it wasn't going to change.
In that case, perhaps we should vote whether all children should learn French.
They all looked at me when I said that I thought children found living in one language hard enough these days.
Mr. Moyer, do the people who speak French believe in it?
Believe in
French, because if they didn't, how would they know what anyone was saying?
do people who speak French believe in French? Yes, I think most of them do.
Oh.
When the cat saw my cornet of fireflies, they knew I was not an ordinary kitten. They thought I was a witch's child and ran away with their tails fingers and went at me. It was cold on Blueberry Mountain, and I could not remember the words that would change me from a little kitten to a princess. Just when I started to cry, I heard the song that my mother sang to me each night in the high hills at Cusco.
Cusco is in Peru. Cusco was the capital of the Inca Empire. You see that before the Spanish came, the city glittered with gold.
Then what happened when the Spanish came?
The empire was destroyed, temples were returned, and the people ran away.
It is Ariel, I said. I remember the words. I was a princess again.
Ariel means of the air. He's a spirit who's under a spell and forced to work with the magician, Prospero.
Thank you for your letter and picture. People tell me you are a good and kind girl, and I believe them. It irks me, Susan. It irks me greatly when girls do not say thank you with their whole heart.
Well, I see it's still raining outside. We won't be able to work in the garden. Shall I read some more of Alice?
Yes, please.
No, said the Queen. It's jam every other day. Today isn't any other day, you know. I don't understand, said Alice. It's dreadfully confusing. That's looking backwards, the Queen said kindly. It always makes one a little giddy at first, but there's one great advantage in it, that one's memory works both ways,
I never heard of such a thing.
said Alice.
I'm sure my memory only works one way. I seem to never remember the things before they happen.
It's a poor sort of memory, that only works backwards, said the Queen.
What sort of things do you remember the best?
Susan!
Oh, things happen the week after next. For example, the King's messenger is in prison being punished, and the trial doesn't even begin until next Wednesday. And of course, the crime comes last of all.
Susan!
Suppose he never commits the crime.
That would be all the better, wouldn't it? Said the queen. Were you ever punished?
Susan? Yes? Susie, dear? Nancy says someone colored in her book. Do you know who that might be? No. Are you sure? Yes, because someone has colored in her book.
It's time for you to answer now, the queen said, looking at her watch.
Open your mouth a little wider and always say Your Majesty. I wish I was big, then people would believe me. Ah, well, be what you would seem to be. Or if you'd like to put it more simply, never imagine yourself not to be otherwise than what it might appear to others, that what you were or might have been.
That doesn't make sense.
I think perhaps you better go to your room now.
The Red Queen shook her head. You may call it nonsense if you wish, but I've heard nonsense compared with which that is as sensible as a dictionary. Perhaps better come back another day.
My mother told me not to bother Mr. Moyer while Mrs. Moyer is feeling unwell, so I had to amuse myself for a few days. During that time, July 20th, there was a total eclipse. Now, this is a true awe-inspiring event, but it's so exceedingly dangerous for your eyesight. But because we can, we're going to show you an eclipse. But we don't want you to suffer from permanent blindness. And since we were able to acquire you professionally manufactured solar filters, I suggest you can take your programs and punch a hole through them. That way, you can use them as pinhole viewers to see the sun going behind the moon's shadow without affecting your eyesight. So, here we go. You'll notice the ends of the crescent breaking into two individual beads of intense white light. Now, this is the thrilling moment when the sun's corona emerges. That's an eerie glow you're seeing around the moon. You'll also notice that the temperature of the room will drop by a few degrees. And all the birds will be silent. This is perfectly normal. Oh, well, we've actually never rehearsed that part before. That was so fast. Well, this is totality. It's only lasts for a few seconds. But to the ancient people, it must have felt like the world was going to end. Don't worry, the lights will be on in a jiffy. Did you know that a jiffy is an actual unit of time, measuring 1/100 second? Okay, Sermina, I think we can have the lights back on. Sermina! Sermina! Oh.
To Helen Susan Cameron Coyne, from Pensacola, proud princess. Greetings. I'm instructed to tell you about our glorious and hard-working leader, Queen Mab. She goes around in a little wagon. The official language of fairyland tells about it. The wagon spokes made of long spinner's legs. The cover of the wings of grasshoppers. The traces of the smallest spider's web. The collar of the moonshine's watery beams. Her whip of cricket's bone. The lash of film. Her Wagner is a small grey-coated gnat. And in this state she gallops. Night by night. Most official language is hard to understand at first. I hope this gives you a clear picture of our dear queen. Let's princess. P.S. What I wanted to tell you about was writing down the shadow of the eclipse of area. Tell the little birds not to be afraid. They knew it could not be night, because there were no sunset colors. Birds are such lovely things, beautiful to look at and heartwarming to listen to. But they hide when the eclipse comes and there is no singing. Dictated by Her Royal and Simple-Minded Highness, who seals attached, let's attach. Princess.
Knight to Kingsport. Now what was he thinking, that rascal? Yes, bravo, Yuri. Queen takes bishop.
But I'm still going to win?
Unfortunately, yes. Yuri passed the Colossus Games in 1928. Some say that he gave the game up altogether to become a monk.
What do I do?
Queen takes pawn and check. Lady, you were the coolest she alive.
Oh, look. My mother said I had to go on the clock and look like this. See you tomorrow, Mr. Moyer.
To Miss Helen Susan Cameron Coyne. Greetings. I am again instructed to tell you about Queen Mab. Her husband's name is Oberon. Oberon is a king. It is no fun being a king. If a king wants to laugh, how I suggest it. Oberon's justice name is Puck. Sincerely, N.T. P.S. I have already told you that I can change myself only into a cat, because I am so proud. If you try to be someone else, a mouse, say, you have to think like a mouse, act like a mouse, feel like a mouse. How can a person be proud and a mouse at the same time? I can only be some animal that is proud. The elephant is a proud animal, and once I was just about to try to be an elephant when Ariel buzzed around me like a hornet with a sore tongue.
Elephants are stately proud, not catty proud.
He said, so sternly that I wanted to cry. I am not all catty proud. I'm a little bit stately proud. I am the Witterton's granddaughter. I am a princess. That's what I should have said to Ariel.
That's it. No more. End of the page.
Tell me, Susan, how to get a writer who will write more than one-page letters.
Mr. Moyer! Mr. Moyer!
Good morning. Quite the early bird, aren't we? Another one.
Mr. Moyer!
Susan. Susan. Goodness, you gave me a fright. To Miss Helen Susan Cameron Coyne.
Greetings! Here's what I wanted to tell you yesterday. After Ariel and I rode down the shadow of the eclipse comforting all the birds, I did not feel so proud. I decided to turn myself into a bird. What bird do you guess?
A robin?
No.
A wren?
No.
A gull.
Not a robin. Nor a wren. Nor a gull. A halcyon. The most people call a kingfisher.
They say in winter when the days are dark and stormy, the kingfisher has her nest floating on the sea. But when the eggs are hatching, there is no wind, there are no waves. They sometimes call these days halcyon days, Kingfisher Days.
Well, I stood all the ways that my teacher had taught me and waited to become a kingfisher. Do you know what had happened? I was a cat with a peacock's tail. The fairies didn't laugh. They looked as if they pitied me. Me, a princess. There could never be halcyon days for your unhappy nutsy tongue. Princess.
Well, Mrs. Moyer is still resting. You want to go give some water, please, for her?
She's lonely, you know.
Who?
Nutsy Tom. She has no one to play with.
Of course, I hadn't thought of that.
I made a present for Nutsy Tom.
Let me see. It's, is it a boat?
It's a canoe. I made it of birch bark.
Very nice. You even made little seats for it.
Oh, look, Mr. Moyer. There's one.
What?
A big yellow water lily.
Can you get it?
Mm-hmm.
how lucky it is to skate in the summer.
To Miss Helen Susan Cameron Coyne. Greetings. I'm instructed to advise you that a trial run of the canoe you presented to the Ferries Institute of Applied Science was a great success. Yesterday at dawn, the whole court assembled by the lakeshore to witness it. Extra spiders had been hired to catch as much of the fog as possible before the canoe started out. Queen Mab touched the water with her wand to make the lake as smooth as a mirror. The canoe was pulled by a team of water walkers, hitched like dog teams. Queen Mab held the reins. She had on a new dress, made of a sea lavender in Mr. Moy's garden. The official trip will be tomorrow. New moon. Natita, princess, professional pedagogue and A1 instructress.
666 Cruz first. Gold Mountain summer skating.
That's not any of you, is it? I was afraid that was going to happen. Yes? Yes, but I only said for emergencies. No, what is it? Hurry up, sweetie, I've got people waiting. I'll turn on the light then. You can look at the book. Brad told you that? No, the world isn't going to end. But 5 billion years is a very long time, sweetie. You'll be long dead by then. Oh. Or maybe not. I don't know. Look. Go to sleep and I'll kiss you goodnight when I come back home. Well, you can't stop from a bird flying over your house, but you can stop them from building a nest. Look, if you go to sleep right now, I'll make waffles for breakfast. A whole shelf of Barrington books. I still feel like oh look! Found my watch! Where were we?
Blueberries!
Really? Blueberries?
Blueberries! Sandy, get the dog. Nancy, get the ice cream buckets.
August, already?
Everyone get a hat.
Okay, well, one day, my father announced that it was time to pick up blueberries before the bears got to them. So off we went to Blueberry Mountain with our aluminum buckets and tin cans. Off we went, along the path, came out of the forest, onto the rocks, overseeing the evergreen trees to the lake. You know, it felt as if we were on top of the world.
All right, let's get busy, everyone. I'm not going home without at least 6 quarts.
So everybody was busy picking blueberries, wandering from bush to bush. I stayed close to my mother because I had fear of bears. And then I found a circle of stones, the remains of a fire. It reminded me of the meeting that Nutita had attended with the cats.
Susan, time to go.
And back we went, down the path, along the winter road, through the bushes behind our house. At home, my mother made a blueberry pie. She gave me all the scraps. She also found me a tiny tart pan. And so I made a pie for my own for the fairies. And before I went to bed, I left the pie inside the fireplace.
What is it?
Go back to bed.
Is it a bear?
There's nothing here. Go back to bed. Patrick, put the damn dog in the kitchen. Get out of here. All right, Sandy, back to bed. Go on. Up you go.
To Miss Helen Susan Cameron Coyne. From Natita, Inca Princess. for the little people in Canada West. Greetings. I am directed to thank you for the blueberry pie. It is the first blueberry pie offered to the little people. The moment is to come to August 5th, Queen Mab ordered a general feast. I sat at the head table. There was a hush when the pie was brought in on the shoulders of 12 gins. But there was a tremendous cheer when King Oberon cut the pie with a silver knife made especially for this feast by the 7 dwarfs. Even Queen Mab, who is getting just a little bit fat, had 2 helpings and tea.
After breakfast, Patrick took the garbage into the incinerator. But when he came back, he saw scratchings on the walls inside the kitchen. So my father examined them, and he confirmed that they were paw prints, probably of a bear's. It frightened me to think that a bear was so close to us while we were sleeping.
Mr. Moyer, do you think the bear will come back?
Perhaps if the paw print is assigned to other bears. Do not disturb. Pie making house.
To Miss Helen Susie Cameron Coyne, from Lexington, unhappy princess. Greetings. When the nobody that writes these letters came for his orders this morning, I said, the princess cannot write Susan this morning. The princess has a heartache. The rude mortal said.
The princess ate 6 pieces of Susan's pie last night. Her heartache is only a queen-sized stomach ache.
I have learned that princesses must not argue with mortals when they are so smug and have "I told you so" written all over their faces. Stomachache or heartache? I wish I could see my mother. If I cannot go to her in the high hills, could you not come to me?
Princess, your mother is well as she can be without you. When your 1,000 years are over, and you once again see Saxophone, your mother will be the first to say, look.
Then he told me about my mother, Susan. It's a secret, all this. But this mortal said he would ask Ariel whether I could tell you. Ariel says I may not tell you about my father, who was the guardian of the Temple of the Sun when the Spaniards came to Cuzco more than 400 years ago. He says, too, I may not tell you why my mother left Fairyland to live in an Indian hut till they let me come back to her. Neither may I tell you why you may not talk about her or me with any Spaniard. I am allowed to tell you that she lives alone on the mountain, waiting for me. Because she had to leave Fairyland, she gets old like humans do. Each year, she gets more wrinkled and bent. But Ariel watches over her. When my mother sees me again, she'll change to a young and beautiful fairy. And we shall live together in a new Temple of the Sun. Yours sincerely, Nutsita, Princess. Susan, Queen Mab says I have to leave Blueberry Mountain. She said that instead of telling me the important facts about the little people that would help you grow up, I have written a lot of tittle-tattle and wasted your time for a month. She said she needed me for another job in a place called Churchill. She said I was to say goodbye to you as nicely as I could. Princesses do not often beg, but this time I begged the queen to let me stay. She said no. I asked her to let me come back in a day. No. In a week? No. In 10 days? Yes, if I worked at my new job without nonsense. So, Susan,
10 days? 10 days.
Congratulations.
So, I looked into the ice house. You look at the books that Mr. Moyer kept there.
In local news, 12-year-old Bart, golden retriever with arthritis, narrowly escaped death by drowning, thanks to a quick action of a local hero.
For goodness sakes, Sandy, get the dog.
One day, my mother went swimming.
No, I don't want any fuss. Mom's going swimming? Just going to cool off. Mom's going swimming! That's enough now. Sandy, get the dog. Go in. I will. Go in. Just taking my time. What are you doing?
I just like to get used to the water.
Yay, can I come swim with you? No. Hand me my towel, dear. That's it? That's all. But you hardly went in. Just enough to cool off.
Minor traffic accident occurred at 4:15 on Highway 17, 3 miles east of Kenora. No injuries were reported. Police are releasing no details on how the accident occurred. Damage is estimated around $50.
We went into town to get some ice cream at the Lake Latin Dairy.
Now the National Research Council official time signal, the following with a long dash, following 10 seconds of silence, indicates exactly 12 noon, Central Standard Time.
Finally, the Moyers came back from Winnipeg. So the girl came by in the dock. Mr. Moyer was in the stern holding onto the engine, and Mrs. Moyer was in the bow holding onto a parasol with their gloved hands.
To Miss Helen Susie Cameron Coyne. Greetings. Churchill, Manitoba is a seaport on the Hudson Bay, near to the Arctic Circle. It is known as the polar bear capital of Canada. My trip there was, of course, secret. Someday, I shall tell you about 2 unpleasant persons I met there. Oath and loath. It irks me, Susan. It irks me sorely that there are people in your country who do not honor princesses. I have been instructed to advise you that it is my duty to make you fully acquainted with all the worthwhile people in fairyland. I shall begin with Queen Mab. The official history says she is the fairy's midwife. This means she must be present when a fairy is born. If she cannot be there to say, "Whoa, what a lovely baby!" the new fairy may turn into a gremlin. Let's talk princess. P.S. Now I can tell you the important and exciting news about a bucket Mr. Moy's ice house. Half a dozen Nixies were looking at the queer things he has there, when one of them found a black-covered book that looked so important that they took it to the great scholar, the Tripod Egghead himself. After reading it for 2 days, he called the scribes together.
While exploring the interior of Mr. Moore's ice house, 6 of the little people made a discovery that we think partly explains Susan's excellence as a baker of pies. In 1896, the Ladies' Aid Society of Grace Church, Winnipeg, wanted to help their city in the best way they could. So they published what's called a souvenir cookbook. In this book, there are 3 recipes supplied by Miss Mabel Elliott. Our research department soon found that this person was no less than the great aunt of our very own Susan. We propose to make a copy for the use of our cooks and to offer to you a copy, trusting that such a gracious person will accept. Dad, did you know your aunt was in a book?
A recipe for peanut taffy by Mabel Elliott. Pour 3 cups of brown sugar and 1 cup of water in a heavy saucepan and bring to a boil. Add 1 tablespoon of butter and 1 dessertspoon of vinegar. Let it boil again and let it continue for half an hour. Pour into an oiled pan thickly spread with peanuts. When cool, cut in bars. Maple creams by Mabel Elliott. 2 cups of brown sugar, 3/4 cup of water. When these come to a boil, add 1 dessertspoon of butter. Boil 8 minutes, stir until thick, and pour onto well-buttered plates to cool.
Can I meet her?
Who?
Mabel Elliott.
No, she died a long time ago.
Why?
Oh, she was very old and, oh, don't do that, Andrew.
To Miss Helen Susie Cameron Coyne, for Miss Serene and Happy Highness, Nutsita, Princess, etc. Respectful greetings. I am commanded to postpone the helpful and interesting lessons that have been the subject of all my previous letters and leave further references to Queen Mab at a court for a later date. The discovery that your great Aunt Mabel had left us recipes that would add to the joy of eating, say fairyland as nothing had done before. Queen Mab ordered that the royal kitchen be open for candy making. From 9 o'clock on, there was a steady stream of carts, pulled by the strongest beetles bringing sugar, eggs, vanilla, butter, dates, and all the rest of the palace. Brownies brought the brownie baby, Aggie Cheek, who sat on the floor rocking back and forth saying, "Thun, Thun." I said to him, "Not Susan, Susan's great aunt." But he only laughed and said, "Thun, Thun."
Andrew!
Don't require an agitate, Susan. He is so little. I hope Queen Mab will have to party soon. The next full moon is so far away. I wonder what dress she'll wear. She has a seersucker she likes very much. I think I'll get a seersucker. Dictated, and the easy one-word letter read aloud by her serene and mind-enlarging princess, who still is attached. Nutsita, Princess. You put your right hand in, you put your right hand out, you put your right hand in, and you shake it all about. You do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about.
Oh, hi, Nancy. I didn't mean to. I was only boring it. I just wanted to play some music for Nutsy Talk. Dad,
Yes, dear.
Nancy says
What's that?
I was only boring the record player.
I see.
I didn't mean to break anything.
All right.
I just wanted to play some music for Nutsy Talk.
Okay.
But then Nancy said I was a baby and that fairies weren't real.
Well, did she now? Don't you have... Didn't I see some letters?
Yes.
Okay. That's what scientists call data. See, what scientists do is observe some aspect of the universe, like Uncle Joe's fireplace. They then conduct experiments, such as leaving gifts for the fairies, to collect data or letters, analyze the results with the aim of forming a hypothesis.
And I think that any reasonable person would probably say that there is enough evidence to suggest that a fairy may indeed be living here at Lake of the Woods. Nancy's just unscientific.
Dear Nancy Top, I enjoy your letters very much, and I thank you for them. I was born in Ottawa, and I live in Toronto. I'm going to Brown School next fall for kindergarten. Greetings. I get popcorn with the popcorn right on Friday, and I eat hot dogs most of the time when I come back from Happy Days in nursery school. I have
A.
a lot of dolls in Toronto, and on the sidewalks there are piles of snow in the winter.
I.
Sometimes go to puppet shows, but it's always, most of the time, though, the same one. Wordle the turtle.
I.
We'll write some more letters. Susan Coyne.
P.S. I.
Had red and blue slacks. This letter was entirely dictated by Susie. Also, please forgive the poor effort on the part of prescribed Meredith Coyne.
To Miss Helen Susan Catherine Coyne, from Nancy Top, Princess. Greetings. I am directed to write you, thanking you for your letter telling me about your lovely home, your friends, and your plans for further self-improvement. Many of the mothers were impressed with the addition of hot dogs and popcorn to your diet. Good brain food. Everybody agreed. Yours with admiration, Nancy Top, Princess.
Near the end of August, the wind shifted. Overnight, little scraps of bright color appeared among the leaves. It was cold in the kitchen, and we had to wear long pants. All day long. And then we went on our last winter of the summer. I found a pine cone and a feather and brought it back home.
I brought it home for you. I also made a picture for you and a pirate hat for you to share with Agachi. We are going home in a little more than a week. That's all for now. Susan Coyne. P.S. I think you are as beautiful as Queen Mab.
What are we doing now?
Putting mulch on the plants to prepare them for the winter.
You're old, aren't you, Mr. Moyer?
Very old. As old as those rocks. Not really. I was joking.
Will you die soon?
I hope not.
Well, I'll be really sad when you do. Oh, look, I got your flip-flop, see?
Very nice.
Dear Susan, your letters make me want to tell you that maybe I'm not as beautiful as you think. If you like me, then I do not have to pretend that I am as beautiful as Queen Mab. It was a little bit silly to use pink paper to write my letters on, and to start all my letters with greetings. Perhaps I should have used only 50 fireflies when I went to Blueberry Mountain. I have decided to go back to my own simple Inca costume and not wear clothes just to get attention. It would be nice to try moonbeams and seersucker once, though. I never had a mother to help me pick out my clothes. Empty.
We have to go home soon.
Yes, and you'll be starting school.
I wish I didn't have to. I wish I could just hide in the cottage when everyone leaves.
Won't you be lonely?
I'd have Nessie Tot to keep me company.
Ah, yes.
It was quiet on the lake, except for the squadron of geese flying south. Most of the cottagers have already boarded up the boathouses. The clouds in the sky were very high and very light.
tried to let it to Nutsita with my own hand. I got out a white sheet of paper, I sat on the table on Mr. Moyer's porch. Mr. Moyer let me use his pen, but I had to ask for some help with the hard words.
Dear Nutsita, I thank you for your letters. I enjoy them very much. On August 31st, I'm going back to Toronto. I will miss your letters. Please write to me next summer if you can. I love you.
P.S.
P.S. I'm an orange bathing suit with a fish on it.
And I made a picture.
Ah, very nice. It's Nutsita, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And she's wearing it's
A
a
seersucker.
seersucker.
Read it.
King Oberon's palace. New moon +5. Dear Susan, it happened on the way to Blueberry Mountain, where I was taking a silver pitcher to get it mended by the dwarves. It was a perfect summer day, which made me think again of the halcyon days in winter, when no wind blows. Which made me wish again that I were a halcyon, a kingfisher. I want Kingfisher Days for you this winter, Susan. So, I said the magic words. 1 minute, I was Nutsita. The next minute, I was Serial Halcyon with a rough crescent, slated blue back. While I was waiting on a dead branch, searching for an mouse, I heard someone call, Nutsita, Serial Halcyon. The echo came back from the swamp. Halcyon! It was Ariel. Bird came out of the swamp and gathered on my tree to listen. Nutsita, Susan says she loves you. Love is stronger than all of Queen Map's spells. The difference between the fairies and angels is love. God is love. The birds all bow their heads. Nutsita, for a time, the spell that keeps you here is lifted. I was so frightened that I turned back into Nutsita, holding a broken silver pitcher, and on my way to Blueberry Mountain. Was it a dream, Susan? Nutsita.
It was almost time for us to go home. The canoe had been put away. The shutters were taken from under the house, ready to be put back on. The sails for the boat were rolled up and stored in the house. I played outside inside the fireplace.
Susan, what are you doing? Playing. The hat hired to write the letters for this office has quit, saying he need not work for anyone but Princess Nutsita. The scribers had agreed to write this letter for me. The princess left yesterday for Kusma and Saskatchewan, that high hill. No reason for her going was given. She was escorted by one of the great ones, Ariel. Before she left, His Majesty threw a dinner in her honor. Date and maple cranes and peanut taffies, made from the famous recipes of the last century, were served. The speech of the evening was given by Agachi. Leaning in his high chair, he said earnestly, "Thune, Nuti, thune, cheek taffy." Meaning, Susan loves Nutsita, Nutsita loves Susan, and Agachi loves taffy. Regretting that it would not be possible to continue with your lessons, yours truly, Adi Alipsky, acting publicity director. Well, isn't that nice? Nutsita's gone home. Because of you. You broke the spell. Why don't you go and see Mr. Morgan?
She's gone.
Where?
Home. I wish I never told her I left her.
Come here. Where were we? Near the end, I think. Ah, yes. Here we are. Remember that silly song the old white knight sang to Alice? As the knight sang the last words of his ballad, he gathered his reins and turned his horse's head along the road by which they had come. "You've only a few yards to go," he said. "Down that hill and over that little brook, and then you'll be a queen."
Susan, time to go now.
"But you'll wait to see me off first," he said as Alice turned her head in the direction to which he had pointed. "I shan't be long. You'll wait and wave your handkerchief when I get to that turn in the road. I think it'll encourage you, you see."
Of course I'll wait. And thank you for coming so far. For the song. I liked it very much. It was time to return back home to Toronto. The next summer we came back to it in the woods, happily and excited as always. And even though I did not receive any more letters from fairies, I had become a reader. And the Kenora Public Library was my gateway to the enchanted world of books. Mr. Moyer and I continued to be friends. But as the summers went by and I got older, we spent less and less time in his garden. When I was about 8 or 9, the Moyers decided that it was too difficult to keep the cottage, so they sold it. We have a picture of them on their last day in the Lake of the Woods, standing beside the rowboat. I never saw them again. But we still kept in touch. A year later, I wrote a letter to Mr. Moyer asking how he was. I was so much older, it seemed. I thought he might have forgotten me.
"Dear Susan, you asked in your card if we remember you. Mrs. Moyer seems to remember you quite well, but I'm getting old. And out of the fog of memory I have now, a number of Susan Coynes emerge and disappear. But which Susan Coyne are you? There was Susan Coyne near some oak trees in an old stone fireplace, tethered to a tree so she couldn't roll into the water. As I see her, she holds out her arms, ready to be taken. And Susan Coyne helped me mend the dock, working in the exile with tools so sharp, worrying me so that I could advise her father to cut her fingers each time she went home. Are you she? She was delightful. And the Susan Coyne skipping along the garden path, scolding me for trampling the flowers. How about she? The Susan Coyne learning to row a boat, learning to swim. A Susan Coyne looking for strawberries and currants. Susan Coyne learning to read, telling me that if you don't see me tomorrow, Mr. Moyer, you know I've gone visiting. There's hardly a memory of Kenora without a Susan Coyne. But which one are you?
We moved to Winnipeg and I suffered the usual agonies of adolescence. Braces, shyness, and confusion. Every morning, my mother would seize my shoulders and say, "Now remember, Susan, attack!" When I was 15, I received this Christmas card.
Dear Susan, I think one reason why Christmas cards from older people don't bring any special joy to young people is that their worlds follow different laws. The world of the older person slows down during Christmas and starts to turn backwards, going slower and slower. He's taken through every Christmas he has known, year by year, one by one. But the Christmas of the younger person starts going faster and faster until she becomes part of Christmas itself. And when she hears, "And suddenly there was with the angel a multitude of the heavenly spirit," she only has time to say, "Yes, I know. Isn't it wonderful?" And goes on rejoicing and being glad. So the only reason for this Christmas card is to wish you a Merry Christmas. That is yours because you are young and 15. Historical note, Mrs. Moyer broke her hip recently and is making a satisfactory recovery.
Being a teenager, I did not take much note of the occasional references to failure of health. Mr. Moyer preferred to talk about learning to bake bread and so on. Then late one spring, I received this letter asking a favor.
I wonder if it would be too much to ask of you to take my place and observe the marsh marigold that grows across the road near the end of the path to Waterlily Bay. It will be at the foot of the mountain and will not be in bloom when you see it in July. But it is the only one, and
almost a perfect specimen. Very specially, yours sincerely, R.C. Moyer.
Recently, my children and I went to visit the cottage, the one I'd grown up in. Everything was just like I remembered it, just a little smaller. We went to see Mr. Moyer's house. The bungalow was much altered and little of this remarkable garden remained. And so we turned back, feeling strangely ill at ease. But then an impulse struck me, and I asked the children to come back. We went on our hands and knees beneath the leaves, and it was so dark so we had to push the leaves out of the way. And there it was, the old stone fireplace covered in lichen and moss, just like I remembered it. And then I told them a story of how I once found letters from a lonely fairy named Nutsita. Is it really true, they'd ask. Yes. This is a true story. And that night I sat at the dock and watched the moon spill her light across the lakes. And then I thought about time, how different it feels when you're young. The summer seemed to last forever and you just can't wait to be another year older. Now I know that the summer only lasts for a few months and you'll be old before you know it. Then I thought about Nutsita, remembered how she went back home to Saxophone and Cusco with her mother. Up that hill, where no doubt they're living still. Oh, stars, it's time to go. Now we'll all be able to catch the news. 14 billion years those stars have been around from the beginning of time. 4 billion years life has appeared on this earth. Guess how long we have been here? 100,000 years. 100,000 years. A blink of an eye. That's it. To affect the quality of the day is the highest of arts, said Thoreau. To admire marsh marigold that grows beside a path. To see the world in a grain of sand, and heavens in a wildflower. To hold infinity in the palm of your hand, and eternity for an hour. Good night, and safe journey.
Miss Paul Hanson left her home in Toronto after a holiday visit with her aunt and uncle, Mr. and Mrs. Doug Coyne from Keaton. They had not seen each other in 12 years. Miss B.A. Lockhart from Kenora spent the past week at Swallow River, the home of her nephew. And now Miss Nutsita, Cusco, and Saxophone has returned to Peru after a visit in Kenora. She's not seen her mother in 500 years. Miss D. Ray Atikokan has spent the following time with her sister, Mrs. Ellen Ray, a resident